So my last year of high school was pretty much a fucking shambles. I mean, nobody gave a fuck about anything. And why would we? I mean, it's our last year and it's not like we're gonna see any of these people ever again. But the not giving a fuck attitude didn't kick in until around halfway through the year. So towards the beginning, everyone was still kind of serious, you know, studying hard, revising hard, making sure that all their notes are in check. But there was a handful of people who really didn't give a fuck, and I was one of them. You see, the thing with me is I never actually studied, I kind of just went with the flow. Of course, I listened and I took notes, but I never actually went home and looked over them. I was too busy playing fucking Fortnite. But there were some lessons where I paid a lot of attention, and there were some lessons where I didn't give a fuck at all. Now, you guys might not actually believe this, but I'm somewhat of an artist myself. Like, I used to have these two school books that I would draw in and I make comics out of them, and I'd consider them good pieces of artwork. I mean, everybody around me was genuinely interested in like the little storyline I had, and it was a good time in life, man. And I would pick and choose which class I would draw it in and which class I wouldn't, depending on how strict the teacher was. But sometimes the teachers would get angry and like take it, and it would get taken all the fucking time, but I would somehow get it back every fucking time. Like, I still have it to this day. But there were times where the teachers would take it for like a long period of time, so there were like moments where I wouldn't have the book for like a week or like maybe even 2 weeks. So to compromise for that, I would just either get a piece of paper and just draw on it and then throw it away like straight away, or I would just mess around because God knows I am not doing any work. So this was like during the time where I had my book taken away. So I walk into one of the lessons which I didn't really give a fuck about, and I see that we have a substitute teacher, which would have been a perfect time for me to draw into my main book, but hey, I'm not one to complain. So I just get a piece of plain paper and I sit wherever my friends are because, you know, there's no seating plan when there's a substitute. So the lesson begins, everyone starts like taking their books out, starts writing the date and shit, and I'm like, okay, you guys have fun with that, I'm gonna start drawing. And one of my best friends right next to me, we both love anime, you know, we were into that fucking anime shit. He takes out his notepad and he tells me he has a really nice anime drawing, and I'm like, okay, well, let's see this anime drawing. You know, maybe it's Luffy, maybe it's Goku, maybe it's even Ichigo. But to my surprise, it was a lot less safe for work than I had anticipated. It was a drawing of Ashido Mido from My Hero Academia. Let's just say her superhero suit had a few modifications. And bear in mind, we are in the middle of lesson right now, okay? There are people around us actually doing their work. But here we are, two young gentlemen in the middle of lesson looking at some IRL Rule 34. But I was genuinely impressed, okay? This was an actual good piece of artwork. Like, there was some serious detail put into this. And since I consider myself an artist as well, I thought, you know what, why don't I give it a try myself? You see, I've always been able to make anime drawings, but I've never actually tried to make a H anime drawing before. You know, I thought it'd be fun, I thought it'd be a nice way to kill time, considering I don't have my main book on me right now. You know, what could possibly go wrong? But I wasn't a madman, okay? I wasn't gonna draw a whole piping scene, I was just trying to draw Nami from One Piece. Time skip. So I get to sketching, I get to drawing all the main bits, I get to drawing the arms, the legs, the frontal region. And the way I like to draw is, I like to draw the outline of the body first and then add in the clothes afterwards, because sometimes if I add in the clothes first, it can mess up the proportions of the limbs. And it pretty much makes my drawings look like fucking Slenderman if I add the clothes in first. So I was like halfway finished, right, but I haven't added in the clothes yet because, you know, I like to do my outline thing. So then I hear a voice behind me and it's someone saying, oh, that's quite inappropriate, and in my head I'm like, who the fuck, like, why are you bothering me? Like, bro, I'm bored and I'm drawing hentai, I'm not bothering anyone, leave me the fuck alone. So I turn around because I want to get a good look at the fucking incel who's hating on my amazing drawing, and to my disappointment, it was my substitute teacher. And at this point in time, my heart falls out of my fucking body, like I shit my heart out, because he wasn't one of those chill substitutes that just sit at the front of the lesson all day and don't do anything. He was one of the substitutes that act like a fucking security guard. And he like fucking snatches the drawing off the table like really aggressively, like he fucking grabs it and he fucking analyzes it, like he looks at it from like 10 different angles. And in the meantime, my friend fucking shoves his notebook deep into his bag. Oh my god, we sound like fucking nerds. We weren't nerds, okay? We were just bored in science. And I'm just sitting there like, holy shit, how the fuck do I defend this? I mean, I got caught in 4K 1080p. I don't even know how long he was standing there. It's not like there's a lack of evidence. I mean, he's holding the evidence right now. He's got Nami's titties in his fucking face. And then he goes, young man, can you step outside for a minute? We need a word. And I'm like, oh fuck me. So now we're standing outside of the classroom and he holds up the drawing and he points at it. And he was very passive aggressive. He was like, this artwork is extremely inappropriate and I'll have to contact your head of year and I'll have to contact your parents. Now, once you're in high school, hearing the words, I'm gonna contact your parents, is probably the scariest shit a teacher could say. And I was fucking shitting it. And I used to handle situations like these very well. I mean, I used to be very good at bargaining and rationality. But in this situation, there was really no getting out of it. I mean, the evidence were in his fucking hands. And he looked genuinely serious. And to make things much worse, we were standing in the middle of the corridor where any member of SLT could have walked past. And if any of them found out, then I would have been a fucking dead man. So realistically, I only had two options. And I had to pick one quickly before I heard a walkie-talkie. My first option was that I take my punishment and I own up to what I did. That would have resulted in me going to the head teacher's office, get my parents called, and had a meeting right then and there. Or I could have gone with my second option, which would have been to deny everything and say that I just found it on the floor. You guys can probably guess which story I stuck with. That's right. Neither of them. You see, my only advantage here was that this guy had never actually met me before. So I went with the third option, act like my life is completely fucking shit. So I started off by saying that my parents would fucking beat me if they got a single phone call from school. Then I proceeded to act like I was getting fucking bullied and I would say that all the guys would beat me up and steal my fucking lunch. And I said that even the teachers would fucking pick on me, like teachers would call me out on shit that I didn't know and make me seem stupid. And then all the girls would make fun of me and pick on me and call me ugly, so that's why I have to draw these images, because my drawings would never bully me. And I finished it off by saying my life fucking sucks, I hate my life, I don't even want to be here anymore. And I pretty much said, if you tell anyone about this drawing, I will fucking kill myself. Which is so fucked up. That was so fucked up. This story makes me sound like a fucking villain, oh my god. No, but seriously, on a real note, I was genuinely stressed. Like, I was sweating, I was hyperventilating when I was talking, I was breathing heavy. Bro, I was scared, because if he actually told my parents, I wouldn't be here today. And then he tells me to calm down and that he wasn't gonna tell anyone about the drawing and that I needed to seek professional help because he wasn't classified to give me any real advice. Because realistically, bro, I was genuinely having a panic attack. Like, I saw my whole life flash before my eyes. And then he gives me back the drawing and he's like, oh man, just head back inside and don't draw this stuff during school. And then, victory royale. The first thing I do when I get back in that class is I throw that fucking drawing away. And then I actually make an attempt to get some work done. Unfortunately, it didn't last long because I just ended up drawing something else. Something a lot safer for work this time. And it's funny as well because the substitute, I would always see him in school, like just walking around, and he'd always check up on me, and he was a cool guy, man. At least we had like a mutual respect afterwards. It's just unfortunate that that was our first encounter. It was literally yesterday where I was talking to my friend with a notepad about this, and it was so funny looking back on it. But in the moment, we were both fucking stressed, man. But anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please leave a like. And if you didn't, then please feel free to degrade me in the comments. Also, all my socials are in the description. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter or whatever the fuck, then it's there for you, just in case you're interested in what I'm doing outside of YouTube. But until next time, make sure you drink your water and get enough sleep at night. Okay, goodbye.